items. Thank you.
So, naam sir?
For today, my code is YJC.
બોલો તમારું બેઝિક ક્વોલિફિકેશન અને યર ઓફ એક્સપિરિયન્સ શું છે અને તમારી એક્સપર્ટીઝ ને
Actually, I'm graduated in information technology in 2010.
ગ્રેજ્યુએટ ઇન BE BTech
BE,
BE?
Bachelor of Engineering in Information Technology
ઓકે
in 2010. I have 13 years of industry experience basically. I have started working in a multinational company. I got campus press when I graduated, and I worked there for around approximately 5 years as a software engineer, where my basic work was mobile application development. And then for 3 years, basically, I wanted to explore a market on my own, so I have started my own startup basically, where I have developed a couple of games and published, and business went as it is. But in 2018, due to some financial reasons and everything, I got back into the industry. So in 2018, I have basically joined a e-commerce startup basically as a software engineer, and my role was basically to develop mobile applications for them and to look after overall IT infrastructure for them, e-commerce company basically. I worked there for around 6 years basically, and then after, since last around 8 to 9 years, since January 2024, I have been working in a machine learning based multinational startup basically, Bangalore based startup, and my role is basically semi-managerial, semi-technical, and I have been looking after a machine learning based data center basically. I have developed, we have been given a task to develop a data center for MLOps, and it is almost in the final stage, and it is in semi-production as well right now.
Why are you looking government job if you are in private sector? Because you are not getting a much more salary compared to private.
Exactly, I might not be getting a salary compared to government, but my major concern is basically my family. I am currently working in a Bangalore-based startup. My better half is working in government already, government of Gujarat, and
In which department?
She is in Sachivalay basically as an officer. So, like for stability of my family, I would like to get back into the Gujarat, and government would give me another forte for learning as well.
Okay. So you have an experience software development, this mobile application.
My major experience was in mobile application for around 10 years, you can say. Then after, I have gradually moved into data exploration, data analysis that I have done in my previous e-commerce company. Then I have got my hands on to the Python with little bit of machine learning, and recently I have been working as a project manager due to my experience and everything. Majorly I'm a project manager, but my role is, my domain basically is into the machine learning operations.
What are the Python libraries used for AI delivery?
Honestly speaking, there are many libraries, but some of the famous we can say is TensorFlow. Basically, scikit-learn is there. Another, there is PyTorch is there. Majority of development, AI-based development, has been done in PyTorch and into this TensorFlow basically.
TensorFlow is used for which purpose specifically?
TensorFlow is basically used for training machine learning models. Basically, you can use this library to train models.
Pandas?
Pandas is there, but most of the Pandas work is based on data exploratory domain. You know.
Which library is more useful for data prediction?
For data prediction, if you are talking about ML-based prediction, then we need to go for PyTorch and TensorFlow. But if we want to predict it with the help of data exploration, then I would say Panda and another is NumPy. NumPy and Panda has been in vogue currently.
What is the difference between prescriptive analysis and predictive analysis?
Basic difference you can say is, if you want to infer something out of data, then you go for prescriptive one. If you want to predict something based on data, then I think you would go with predictive approaches basically.
Have you developed any kind of AI ML models?
Practically, no. I haven't given so much. I have got so much an opportunity to develop hardcore machine learning models because my work was basically into ML ops. Basically, what I do is basically if the once the model has been ready and needs to be deployed, then I comes into the picture. Basically, we have been developing a data center, AI-based data center, basically, and GPU-based data center, you can say, for specifically models to orchestrate these models. Basically, real life traffic will come into this model, actual prediction will be, or whatever the inference would be done.
Because you are from data center side, not from development.
No, my
AI models.
No, I am from software side. Basically, I am not from machine learning side. You can say my majority of experience is within software domain, and for like
You are using some kind of tools which explore that AI ML from data center.
Yes, exactly. Once like your model is ready, then you need to have a software engineering layer upon it to
What is
actually
the difference
deploy.
between GPU and CPU?
Well, CPU is something. Basically, both do data processing, but CPU is something which can do a variety of work, and GPU is something which is mastered in a typical type of work. Like if you have a similar type of iterative work, but larger in a larger scale, then GPU is basically ideal for you. But if you have a variety of work, basically, and if this variety of work you need to like address this, then CPU would be best fit for
How
you.
GPU speed is measured?
GPU has sort of VRAM and everything, and basically, like, I'm not sure.
How cost difference between CPU and GPU?
Like practically speaking, GPU is very expensive in a way as compared to CPU, basically. Like in our data center, we have been using 3040.
You have developed mobile applications for 10 years.
Yes.
What are the best practices to secure mobile application?
Well, there are a lot of things you can do in order to secure your mobile applications, but there are some very basic and common recommendations I would give. First of all, if you are storing any type of data within a mobile in your application, then you must have to encrypt it. That is first thing. Second practical tip I would like to go to the newbie developer is, if you are transferring any type of data to a server or your peer-to-peer communication is there or anything, that data must be encrypted end to end. That is the best practices, basically. Third thing is, you need to basically, while developing an application, you need to take care of a lot of things basically in order to secure the applications. If we go into a little bit of detail, then things are like, if you are integrating a login process or login flow, you must be careful in order to, like, you need to use the standard procedures like two-factor authentication and certain things in order to make sure that there are no backdoors into your code. There are no code injection could be possible within your code. There are a lot of things you can do, but these are the basic recommendations I would give.
How device level, user level permissions can be set in mobile applications?
Practically speaking, I would not recommend to set any type of permissions within your mobile app. This is the domain of a server, and server must be managing these all things. Your mobile application should be communicating or asking to the server about any type of permissions or any type of permissions change or anything.
Suppose your mobile application is using local device camera, mobile camera.
Yes.
For that, your application should ask to user that
for
give permission to access the camera, right?
Okay. For iOS applications and Android applications, there are basic guidelines of operating systems. iOS and Android, basically, there are two mostly in vogue. So there are basic guidelines about using this type of resources. Like if you want to use camera, if you want to use microphones, then there are standard procedures set by operating systems. Like you need to ask the permission of the user. That permission should be changed. User can be able to change these permissions into the settings. you need to provide certain things like this type of things. You need to ask the user before using this type of resources from devices.
Such kind of settings can you set in your mobile application?
You can ask permission for to use this type of resources.
How your
Yes.
mobile application will ask? You have developed a mobile application
There
which
is-
is using device camera.
Yes. There are, for iOS and Android, there are basically OS APIs you can use directly in order to
Which platform you have developed mobile application?
Mostly in iOS.
iOS.
Yes. iPhone
And the
application.
development environment.
Export mostly.
What are the important government of Gujarat schemes which is digitally available?
If I know about government schemes, there you're talking about schemes, right?
What are the online various scheme of government for citizens entry? Okay, to avail on online. Any portal?
There are many portals. Basically, government has a lot of.
Are you aware of such kind of portals which is
Yes,
used in
there is a
outside
mission mode project has been going on, and in the mission mode project,
What are the mission? Which are the mission mode project? Projects?
I'm not exactly sure about number of mission mode projects, but I think there are 32 or 33 mission mode projects are there currently.
Who has initiated mission mode project?
Basically, I guess if I'm not wrong, central government has initiated this mission mode project, and they are involved.
Any
in
mission mode project available in Gujarat? A state government has initiated.
I'm not so much aware about this, but I honestly speaking, I have my ancestral land, and for inheritance thing, I have went to the local Mamlatdar kacheri, and I have seen that there is an this mission mode project thing has been there in revenue department, so I'm aware of that only.
Any digital service other than revenue department available?
Yes, there are a lot of digital service government.
Any portal name?
Actually, I'm honestly not aware about this portal.
Okay. Have you heard about Digital Gujarat?
Not so much aware about that.
Okay.
Any public grievance systems run by government?
Yes, government PMO and CMO has been I'm vaguely aware of this, that you can directly put your grievance to the CMO and to the PMO, and there is a portal for that. I'm vaguely aware of that.
What is your outstanding achievement or remarkable work?
If we talk about my recent achievements, then I would say I have joined this company in January itself, and I have been given this task to develop a team, and in order to implement or create this data center from scratch for machine learning orchestration. Typical data center work is different. CPU based data center basically, but this was GPU based data center, and there were a lot of technical challenges, from feasibility point of view to a lot of detailed in-depth technical challenges.
How you overcome that challenges?
There were many challenges, but if I randomly pick one, then there was one challenge that any practical machine learning model you would take on, like LLM or something, then its size would be 6 GBs to 20 GBs or 24 GBs. We were having many servers basically, and we need to develop a network basically. Some network solutions we needed, that if this one model is available on one hop, then that should be reflected in another hop within a second basically. That is how practically you can provide the service to the user. That was the biggest challenge, because land-based network would not be able to provide this type of speed. Basically, there were bottlenecks for 10 gigs per second, and we were hoping for something at least 100 gigs per second. So I have within 15 days, I have come up with developing this within a fiber cable. So and our current infrastructure is absolutely based on fiber-based network.
Okay. What is role of ICT in government?
Basically, ICT is. I'm not so much sure about job profile, because I'm not so much accustomed to for working with government basically yet. But as I understand, the role of ICT officer would be to facilitate the digitization of whatever the government processes are there basically, and to support the digital infrastructure of government.
Who is the secretary of DST? So you go through their website, digital DST Gujarat, Digital Gujarat, Digital India. Okay.
Okay.
You read this all the
Get some
scheme.
important scheme information which is digitally available.
So your technically sound okay, but you have to learn what are the scheme available, what are
Get
the
departmental structure, DST structure.
because if we hire you as ICT, okay, you should know about the department. What are the function of the department? Okay.
Okay.
What are the service they are providing? Okay.
Yes.